Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Daniel Fishing here. Today we're going to be making a chub, a river chub, creek chub, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a pretty quick video. I'm going to try to explain every single step in detail as I go through them so you can follow with me. It'd be awesome if you would like and subscribe. That really helps me out so you guys can also know when I'm posting stuff. I'm going to try to get a lot more videos up this year than I have in the past 2 years. That's my big goal. But that's really all for now. Let's get to it. To start, here's the materials you need to make the fly exactly how I'm making it. You'll need wire, yarn, tinsel, some form of flash, chenille, marabou feathers, deer tail, bucktail, and then the necessary utensils. You will start by threading your yarn down the shank of the hook to trap in the. We'll just take it back. Once you have done that, cut the strand and finish wrapping down the hook body. I try to do as even of wraps as I possibly can. That'll be good for now. Then you can quickly wrap back up it. Actually, I want to take that back. Once you've reached about 3/4 down the hook length, you're going to take your base color, which will be almost the inside of it, of the bait, and you will attempt to split it as much as you can, and you'll put it around the shank of the hook, as so. Once you're about 3/4 down the shank of the hook, you're going to take your base marabou feather and make sure to try to remove at least a 1/4 inch of the bad feather, and you will tie it on. From this point, you're going to want to thread back up about to the same spot you started at, which would be about the middle. And you're going to take your other feather, which in this case is my white one, and you're going to want to push it so that the front of the feather, or the end of your feather, touches at the eye of the hook, just before it. And then you want to do tight wraps again down to about the same spot. And then you want to take the white feather, pull away from the green. This is optional to do after and or before, but you want to snip the green and make it about the same length as your hook. And then you want the white piece to be about another ½ inch or so bigger than that. Snip it there. And then you can snip this piece off as well during this point. And then you just want to tightly wrap over both pieces once again until you reach the back end of the hook right before the curve. And now you want to take your flash and pull 2 strands out. 2 strands should be plenty. You're going to want to line the strands up together and then fold them on themselves. Or fold them in half, would be a better way to explain that. And then from this point, you will hold it right in front of the yarn. And wrap tightly around it. Until you feel it's secured. That's what I'm going to do in this case. You want to do it probably about the same length as your lower Malibu or Marabou. Gosh dang it. And then you want to tightly wrap it on. Be sure not to get your feathers while you're doing it. That's what I'm about to do on accident. And then do probably 4 or 5 tight wraps close to the back end of it. You can keep this extra tinsel on, or you can cut it off. I'm gonna leave it on if it looks good at the end. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But now, you want to leave this tinsel off to the side. Take your chenille, wrap this without getting the feathers again a few times till it stays in place. Oops. And then you want to go behind both of these. Once you've done that, you are able to cut this. Grab the same thing. Oops. Make sure not to cut your yarn. So if you do that, that will mess up your whole project. And you're gonna want to back wrap far enough down to where you can do the same thing with the tinsel. As you can see there, I left just that very edge for it. And then with tinsel, you're going to probably want almost twice as much, because you're going to wrap over the chenille with it. This is what gives the body of your with the chenille. I'm probably butchering that name, and I apologize if I am. Do 4 or 5 pretty tight wraps. I'm gonna move this a little bit tighter. There we go. And then you're able to cut it. Don't cut your yarn while doing this. It's really frustrating and upsetting if you do. At this point, bucktail. I'm using yellow, but chartreuse is probably a better color for this. You want to take about that much, and you're just going to cut it at the base. Just cut it straight at the base, like so. Oops. And this is a common method I'm about to do. People always do this to get rid of fuzzies and stray strands. Go up and down with it, but then you're going to squeeze it and try to wound it as tight as you can, because this is going to be the weakest part of your fly. And then you snip these front ones. Get as close as you can. And then get your red. You're going to grab one of the longer pieces of it, but you're going to get a really small amount, like this. Hopefully you can see that. It's not very many. But then you want to cut it as close to the base as you can. Oh, I dropped it. Just cut it there. I literally have maybe 7 strands. And then you're just going to put that underneath. So what I'm doing right now is I just flip my fly over. You can probably hardly see right now, but it's going to make it easier to tie these on the bottom. And again, just really tight wraps. You're able to flip your fly back over. Be careful when you're doing this not to unhook your fly itself. Then you want to wind up to the eye of the hook with extremely tight wraps, or very close to it. Then back down. Uh-oh. Do 5 to 7. What finishes? And pull out, and then cut and glue. So now just wait for it to dry.